So, in this video, we're going to talk about that feeling when you realize that you hurt somebody and maybe you said something or did something, and the moment you sense that energy shift and you just want to fix that like right away, right now. You start to text them again and again, and at one point, you start to almost over explain yourself. You apologize once, twice, 5 times, and somewhere in that panic, you start to spiral, and this other person is taking time to respond, or maybe they have gone silent. And now your mind is running wild with thoughts like, what if they never forgive me? What if they think I'm a bad person? And what if I've just lost this connection with this person forever? What if I just ruined everything? It's this loop of needing instant peace, not just with them, but within yourself. And that moment, that doesn't come. You start to crumble. So, I want to talk about this not from any moral high ground, but as someone who has been there, who has been in that situation. And we all have that moment wherein we panic not because we hurt somebody, but because we cannot sit with that discomfort that comes afterwards, right? And here's what is really happening when we demand immediate forgiveness or keep chasing the person for a response, we are actually trying to soothe our own guilt more than we are trying to hold space for their hurt. That is where you can understand why they're taking time to respond. It feels like you're trying to fix them, but what you're really trying to fix is how unbearable it feels to not be okay with yourself. And I get it. That space of uncertainty, the baiting, it is horrible. Especially if you're somebody who hates being misunderstood or who grew up feeling like love could be taken away within a second. But now, not only they are hurt, the other person, they're also feeling pressured to comfort you while they're processing their own emotion. And see how that flips the script unfairly towards the other person. So, what I want you to understand is when you are wanting that immediate, instant forgiveness or peace with somebody, you are not thinking about this other person. You are afraid for yourself, and I understand that. But what you have to understand is we all have in our lives our traumas, our anxiety, the things we are fearful of. But at some point, you have to come to a realization that you need to outgrow this. You need to become a person who can recognize things and can work upon them. And that can only happen if you do not dwell upon, okay, this is me. I cannot change. So you need to work on that, what you are, right? And so now the question is, what do you actually do in that situation? And let's break it down. So, number one thing is apologize once with sincerity, not desperation. Own your part, speak from your heart, but then stop there. Because if you will over apologize, you will just keep saying, I'm sorry, I did not mean to do this, do that. You're not really reflecting upon what you did, right? So when they are taking time to respond back, you apologize and you let them take that space. You sit back and you do not need to do anything in that moment apart from reflecting upon what you have done, and do not do it again. Do not do the same mistake again. And that will only happen if you will sit with yourself and analyze what just happened, what did you do, what probably caused this whole situation, what hurt did this other person go through. So, in that way, you can actually make things better for the coming future, right? Number two, be okay with the space that follows. I know it is very, very uncomfortable to sit in silence, to be uncertain about the situation that is going on with this other person. And I have been there. We all have been there. It is very, very uncomfortable. You immediately want to fix that thing, and you may even start to, panic. and you think that silence equals rejection, silence equals things are going to hell, silence equals everything is doomed, right? But you need to reframe this silence, this time that they are taking. It is not things going to hell, it is you taking time for yourself as well. Meanwhile, they are also taking time. You also take your time for yourself and reflect. Reflect upon what just happened. What triggered them? What triggered you? Why was your need to be forgiven so instant and urgent? Reflect upon that. Because often what we call guilt is just ego hating that it messed up. But real remorse is patience. It's steady. It respects the other person's timing, not just our own discomfort. Sit with that overthinking and name it. You know what happens? The mind loves to frame stories. It loves to tell you that, okay, now this is silence. Now they hate me. I always ruin things. And when that happens, try to shift that story to sensation. Now, listen to me very carefully. Instead of framing stories in your head, recognize the sensations that are going on in your body. You might feel anxiety, you might feel tightening in your chest, you might feel uh, sweaty hands, you might feel heavy breath. And now, name that feeling, name what you're feeling in your body instead of forming stories of what they might be thinking, because you do not know what the other person is thinking. They might be thinking something else entirely. So you do not need to frame a story on their behalf. Just recognize your own feelings and name it. And once you name that, it will help you recognize and regulate your own nervous system. And you can actually calm down and work and do something that will actually bring something fruitful for the new future. The more you soothe yourself physically, the clearer you will become to think emotionally. And here's the most important thing: just because somebody does not forgive you right away does not mean that they won't, does not mean they hate you, does not mean that they don't love you. The real growth happens when we learn to sit with the discomfort of not being liked, not being understood, not being forgiven yet, and still choosing to be grounded, kind, and accountable. So the next time you are stuck in that loop of, I messed up and I need to tell them we are okay, you need to pause, breathe, apologize once. Because one thing that stands very true, at least for me, is actions speak louder than words. So, when you're apologizing, next time do not do the same thing, because one time or maybe two times it is a mistake, and then if you repeat it again and again, it is a habit. And your actions will always reflect harder than your words ever will, because through your actions you can show effort. And if you really love somebody, if you really care about somebody, if you think they're an important person in your life, effort means everything. Effort is everything. So when you show them with your words and with your changed energy that you are capable of giving space even when it is hard, that is emotional maturity. That is love without control. And with that, I will see you in the next video.